so much for taking the time to do this, Sarah.
Of course.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be here.
I know your time is very precious at the moment. So you're a doctor.
Yeah.
What was the moment? Did you wake up one day and think, I'm going to be a doctor? What was the moment, the defining moment where you knew what you wanted to do?
I think when I was in school, I always wanted to actually be a scientist and study botany, which is plants. And then just in my last year before I went to university, I decided to become a doctor just through a conversation with someone. They recommended I should do medicine, that I'd be a good fit for it. But yeah, and then I applied for it and I got in. And when I was studying in my 5 years of medical school, in the fourth year we did our women's health module, which was gynecology and obstetrics, so delivering babies and all gynecology related issues. And from the moment I studied it and the moment I went onto the wards in the maternity hospital, I was just fascinated with babies being born and the whole process of labour. So I just became really, really driven towards this career. My entire life has been moving towards women's health. From that moment, everything like research, studies, everything, I just wanted to focus on women's health. And that's kind of what led me to it, I suppose. I was always going to come to India. Yeah. I really wanted to do a yoga teaching course here, which I did last month. And I wanted to do a bit of volunteer work here. I just wasn't sure what area of work I was going to do it in, if I was going to come and be a doctor or come and do training or, you know, whichever, but I ended up coming here to Snehalaya. So my entire focus coming here was to train and for sustainable development and work. I didn't want to come here and just do things and then leave and not educate or give my skills over, because it's not very sustainable. And so my main focus is really to come here to teach about menstrual health, hygiene, female hygiene, consent, sexual health, reproductive health, and then also to train staff members in the medical area, like the nurses and doctors, about doing a speculum exam, pap smears, breast exams, and then general women's health, like palpation of an abdomen when pregnant. So yeah, that's kind of what my aim was coming here. But I got involved in loads of stuff. Well, I start my day with yoga and meditation at 6 in the morning. And the intention there was, well, I didn't think I was going to be teaching yoga at all. But my intention was for wellness and well-being. But actually the girls here that I do the yoga and meditation with are brilliant at yoga. They're really, really good at yoga. They know how to meditate. They're brilliant. So it was a really easy way to get into the class. So that's every morning. And then I do these small workshops with the girls at all different ages. And I try to keep it in small groups of 15 to 20. Sometimes it gets bigger. And we discuss women's health. So menstrual cycle, hygiene, sex, safe sex practice and consent and all that stuff. And the reason I want a small group is to create a safe environment that they can ask questions, and you also don't lose people in the group if it's nice and small. So yeah, that would be one of the kind of workshops I do. And then I got involved in doing a nail making or nail art workshop. So from the donations I had raised coming here, I took some money aside and I bought loads of nail polishes and jewels and different kits to put on the nails, and we did these nail making workshops, and I mean, like, yeah, they were great fun. As we progressed through the weeks and I was doing a lot of teaching with just focus on women, myself and Joyce kind of came to the idea that it doesn't make sense to exclude the boys, as, you know, if you're going to be teaching the girls about all this, why not teach the boys? Is so important. So we decided to go over to the boys' side and teach them the exact same talk. So again, the menstrual cycle, reproductive health, safe sex practice, consent, and really it was open-ended. They asked so many questions. Like, the boys were really, really amazing. I was so blown away by them. Really open and really sensitive and really lovely kids. So yeah, so we did that with the boys, and it was really really good positive feedback from them all. Every group was different. Every single group I did had a different response, a different way of receiving my information. Some groups were really open and really enjoyed it, and whereas other groups were almost embarrassed or felt ashamed or didn't like it at all, me broaching the topic. So it was very mixed, and honestly, the younger the age was much easier to actually to take on the information. I found that the older generation were a lot more closed and didn't really want me to get into it as much, but that's okay. Like, that's just the way they were brought up. It was a different society then. But yeah, it's a really interesting question. I personally didn't think it was going to be received as well as it has been to date. I thought that a lot of my topics and talks that I was doing was going to be really, I don't know, people might get disrespected, or they might feel, really didn't want me to go. I thought it was going to be much more negative, but actually it was a lot more open than I anticipated.
If you could do it all over again, would you do the same, or anything different? I'd probably do the same. I'd definitely hold a lot more talks for the older women, and talk particularly about menopause, because I feel like there isn't any sort of support or information on menopause in India, whereas I was focusing a lot on the younger generation. So I probably would do that differently. I have a group tomorrow that is a little bit older, so I've edited the presentation to cater for that, but going back again, I would definitely have included the older generation a bit more. So I've been here 7 years, and we've seen many volunteers come and go and do extraordinary things, but I think you're the first that have broken so many barriers and tackled subjects that haven't been tackled here. I'm just so full of admiration for you, Sara.
Oh,
Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.